Cody just got finished defeating the second-to-last King-ranked fantasy master. He receives a message on his computer screen that reads, "Only one king remains," with a king card logo. He just needs to take out the last one before he can upgrade to ace. But he nor she is logged in. "Where is this puppy lover 0820 person?" Cody shouts. "It says that this person signed out 3 hours ago." Lord Dopamine shows up again to give Cody another pep talk. "That rat must be out reading a guide," he says. "You must go off into the fields to gain more experience points, if you choose to be ready for this individual, or any other opposing challengers. But this player isn't logged in, so what's the point?" I'll come back later. "Do you want this race ranking or not?" Cody takes a minute to rethink about the many achievements he's made in Fantasy Estate in comparison to his social life. "If you leave, there's a possibility you will lose all that you've strived for. All of those weeks you've spent, the job you've lost, the 3 minutes of sleep you've had, and several other sacrifices you've made will all be for nothing if you give up now." I guess you're right about that. Now resume gameplay. Back to Corey and Maverna, who are still rearranging their stuff in their pockets. "Okay, Cody. I've decided to get rid of 5 Sugar Crisp albums, the entire Blu-ray set of all 20 seasons of Ernesto, such an outdated sitcom, 15 large teddy bears from that creepy guy I went to high school with, 20 shampoo bottles, a tanning bed, and my kitchen." "Cool. You should be good then. Wait. There's one more thing." Myrna reaches down into her pocket and pulls out something else. "This little bottle cap I've been saving. There. Now, I should have plenty of room." Maverna stashes several fireworks into her pockets. Then she hears a game noise. "I heard that! Let's go!" She yells while dragging Corey into a den-like area filled with 2-liter Diet Mr. Vivid bottles. What's with all the Diet Mr. Vivids? Doesn't this man know that diet drinks are worse for you than the real stuff? Maverna asks. "To tell you from experience, it's the taste," Corey replied. Loud thumping noises can be heard. "Wait. Shh. What?" Corey asks, while he hears the thumping. "Is it that dumping?" "No. I heard the sound of a starfish counterattack being used. It came from over there," Maverna says, as she points towards a door with a "Keep Out" sign. "Come hit him, my cohort." Corey continues to hear the noises. What's with that thumping sound? Oh my God. It's probably another one of those things. Best not to worry about it if you want to stay alive, Maverna said as she walks over to the door. Corey stands still to hear the thumps yet again. Then he sighs. "If you say so." Maverna notices a 4-digit lock on the door, which makes her shout, "Oh, really?" Corey spots the lock. Ah, crap. Both Maverna and Corey begin knocking on the door very hard, but Cody can't hear them because he has his headphones on full volume. "Wait. I'm willing to bet my entire checking account that it's his username," Maverna mentioned. Corey struggles to remember. Code Red 98? Yeah. I understand the 98 part, but translate the letters to numbers. Maverna turns around to try out her own suggestion. Let's see. C equals 3. R is... Wait. Maverna turns her head around counterclockwise to count the alphabet with her fingers and realizes that R is 18. Dang it! thought I had something there. Oh, nobody heard about that bet. The thumping continues and it catches both of their attention for a split second. But Maverna walks off away from Corey as he bows his head to think for a minute. Moments later, Corey glances up to see what Maverna is doing. What are you doing? Maverna is holding one of the Diet Mr. Vivid bottles with a few Scotch mints. Hey, I couldn't resist. I need some entertainment before something comes and kills us. Corey face palms. Now's not the time for this. So does that even work? The thumping noise happens again. Of course it does. Let's just say you get the same effect if a lonely, nerdy guy saw a modern female rapper walk past him. Maverna laughs. Corey shudders at the thought of that. Ugh. Now watch this, Maverna says as she places the Scotch mints into the bottle and immediately screws the cap back on in time once it starts spraying. She then shakes up the bottle, slams it on the floor, and it barely did anything. Corey and Maverna stare at each other awkwardly. Well, that was a little underwhelming. Oh! The bottle slams into Maverna with lightning speed, knocking her out of her boots and into a nearby wall, leaving an imprint of her outline. Corey rushes to the hole to ask, Maverna, are you okay? Maverna replies with, yeah. Then she points to a man tied up with duct tape over his mouth. But he's not. It's that Calhoun. Come on, help me untie him. The two drag Mr. Calhoun out of the wall and into the light to untie him. Richard Calhoun is an elderly Caucasian man who has to, at the very least, be in his mid-70s. Oh! You're here to evict that little jackass, are you? Calhoun said to Corey, after Maverna ripped the duct tape off his mouth. How'd you know? Asked Corey. Well, I heard footsteps and people talking, so I kept kicking the wall, hoping somebody would notice. Cody did this to you? Maverna asked. Yeah, not only that, he's still in my power, so he can continue playing that murder simulator he's got going on in there. Corey becomes more furious, having to fathom the criminal behavior Cody's been up to during his hiatus. Now hold up, old-timer. Video games are not murder. Corey interrupts Maverna. Now's not the time. Back to Calhoun. Now, Cody's got a locking mechanism installed to his door over there. Do you by any chance know the code? Absolutely. I have it written down inside that wall on the notes, just in case someone found me dead or whatever. Mr. Calhoun says as he turns around towards the wall to find out that the group of rat-sized cockroaches got to it first and ripped each number off while scattering about throughout the apartment. I was meaning to tell you, I didn't use actual glue to attach the numbers. I used chewing gum. Corey face palms. Calhoun shakes his head. And Maverna screams, oh, terrific! We almost had it. Can you remember the code by heart? Corey asked, while Maverna is walking around in frustration, muttering to herself. Sonny, you're asking the wrong fella. My memory's got me by the dick! Corey, there they are! All four cockroaches fly through the room again, and two of them fight with each other, causing one to drop a number. Corey picks up the number and says, well, we got one, while Maverna and Calhoun chase after the rest in the other room. Corey sticks the number in his pocket and follows the other two. They arrive in the room, and Maverna spots one of the numbers, heading towards the hallway. There's one, she yells. And another one, Calhoun yells, while pointing at the closest door. All right, you guys go get them. I'll find the last one on my own. The three split up to track down each one that they have their eyes on. First, we start off with Corey. He spots the roach carrying the number 3 by the time Calhoun and Maverna exit the room. He catches it until it crawls under yet another room, where the door has a missing handle. Here we go again, he utters right before he spots an hieroglyph carved on the wall of a fat man with miscellaneous colors inside his belly. Below the picture it says, "Through gluttony, only your true colors will show." Now's not the time for riddles, he then mutters. Dan spots another message that reads, "Proceed to the next room on your right." Corey does as the message says and reaches a place with poor flooring and roofing due to leakage coming from the unit above. There's no other destination in the room except the other room on the other side of him. He makes a few steps, and some of the floor tiles collapses into the neighbor's unit below. Right before this happens, the neighbor below is building an entire model of downtown Season Peak, Tennessee out of playing cards while recording/live streaming it. His teenage daughter walks into the room and she asks him, "Hey Dad, would you mind if I go pick up my boyfriend from the mall while you do this?" "Go ahead," he says. His daughter thanks him with a head shake and exits the place. A tablet-sized chunk of sheetrock, coming from Corey's mistake, falls behind him. He quickly turns his head around to see what the noise was, but the city shakes as it worries him. He immediately turns back around and manages to keep it stable. Back on the floor above, Corey makes a few more steps, and the same effect happens again. As you've guessed, more pieces continue to fall down below. Corey comes to realize that a specific color of tiles are the bad ones. "Avoid the wet gray ones," he said. Corey continues to leap only to the dry tiles while avoiding the wet ones until he reaches the other side. Meanwhile, Mr. Calhoun goes his separate way to the piece he found. "There you are," he said before another one of those roaches took it even further as he chases it down. By the time the chase ends, Calhoun drops his glasses, but is still able to see that the number is in one spot and no longer moving. On the other side of a 30-foot wide labyrinth made entirely of dirty laundry. "This is what happens when you remove spanking from the household," Calhoun mutters as he straps on his face mask. Maverna comes across an open-air vent. She thinks of the many possibilities that the one cockroach she's seeking could have crawled his way in there, so she takes no chances and infiltrates her way through. Who would have thought? Maverna's predictions were right. She spots the cockroach with the 4th number and squirms throughout the vent until they both fall into an isolated room filled with fungus, which used to be the bathroom. The roach dies, but the number is right there in front of Maverna to where she can easily get up off her stomach and grab it. Before she grabs it, 2 disgusting-looking humanoid beings made of fungus hinder her chance. "Yo, dude, you lost or something?" asked the first one in a West Coast skate punk accent. "To some degree, yeah," Maverna replied. "Hey, yo, gnarly Bob, sis," said the second one. I appreciate the hair compliment, but there's something of value to me right behind you guys. So, Maverna attempts to grab the number, but is stopped by the first fungi humanoid. "Hold on, bro. It's like..." The fungi man loses his train of thought, then turns to the other one to ask, "What was I going to say, man?" "It ain't right for you to bust in here like that and not introduce yourself, dude," the second one said to Maverna. "I'm Wormring, and that's Inch Toe." "And we're the Fungi Cousins," said Inch Toe. The Fungi Cousins are one heck of an odd bunch. Inch Toe is a tall humanoid made of light brown fungus, with a vertically stretched out head, and he has no nose. He's dressed in a tie-dye rainbow hippie shirt with blue jeans and brown flip-flops. He also has a red, white dotted mushroom cap with a gill sticking out of the back, making it look like he's wearing a backwards baseball cap. As for Worm Ring, he's pretty much the same, just different clothing, fungi color, plus he's shorter and fatter. He's made of light orange fungus this time. His mushroom cap is also worn as a hat, but it's green and tilted slightly to the left, looking like a beret. He also has lots of gills stretching down from the inside of his cap, making it look like he has dreadlocks. He wears a black t-shirt with a white painted-on peace sign, khaki cargo shirts, and dark brown strap-on sandals with bunched-up white socks. My name is Maverna Holmes, a private investigator, and I need to grab something right behind you that belongs to me. Now, if you'll excuse me, you seem a tad tense, my lady. You should try some of this amazing stuff we got here, said Itchtoe. No thanks, sir. I'm fine. Worm Ring? Itchtoe said the Worm Ring, basically telling him to toss some odd substance into Maverna's face, which knocks her out. Now, let's check on the men. Mr. Calhoun is still stuck in the maze. He'll figure it out. So let's get back to Corey instead. Corey comes into another bedroom area with a lot of leaking coming from the ceiling. It's also a half-empty room with magazines, a sports team banner, a calendar on the month of July 2022 featuring a pin-up girl cooking out, and a mini fridge with refrigerator magnets. Corey then hears a voice coming from the closet of said room. Psst! Hey, over here, it said, and Corey approaches. You want something to eat? No. Something went in the kitchen that I need. No. You hungry. You're hungry. I mean, look at you. Corey rolls his eyes and sighs in frustration at whatever is talking to him and decides to just go on with his little game. Fine. I'm famished. Now, do you have any clue where the handle to that door is? The being quickly jumps out in front of Corey and is Cody's pet bearded dragon, Matchy. That all depends. If you pass this test. Matchy turns Corey around and points towards a small table with 10 different drink mixes and a bottle of water. The drink mixes are fruit punch, blueberry, peach, raspberry, orange, pear, watermelon, strawberry, cherry, and dragon fruit. There are 10 flavors. I'm going to need you to combine a specific amount to make me the perfect cocktail. You got one chance at this. If I fail, let's just hope that's not your car keys behind that door. What's the point of you keeping the knob for yourself anyway? Didn't Trixie tell you? You've seen these large, ugly things around here? It's my way of protecting our source of food away from the other beasts. They want their good food, yet Cody is just leaving food and drinks around, so they should be thankful for that at least. All right. Since I'm clearly not one of those things, can you be generous enough to give me a hint? Matchy turns towards the rest of the room with his arms open wide to reply with, observe the room, and you'll figure something out. That's all you're getting for a hint. Matchy then pats on Corey's shoulder as a way of telling him, good luck. Corey first takes another look at the calendar. He notices that Sunday the 3rd, Wednesday the 6th, and Saturday the 9th are the only days marked. Sunday the 3rd has a blue circle around the 3. Wednesday the 6th has a red one, and Saturday has a yellow highlighter. He then turns over to the other side of the room to notice that the mini fridge, stack of magazines, and a sports banner are lined up in that order from left to right. During Corey's brain teaser session, a loud creak comes from the ceiling, spilling more water. It catches Corey off guard for a split second, but then he resumes the quiz. He analyzes the refrigerator magnets to find out that the red E is the only letter on there surrounded by numbers. He moves on to the stack of Jenny's Garage magazines. Both capital G's in the title are enlarged and compared to the other letters of the word. Not to mention that they are yellow, while the other letters are white. Finally, he comes across the sports banner of the season peak Police High School football team. The banner has a maroon background with Season Peak written in golden, bold school font, and it features the mascot's logo, which is the side of a blue policeman's head, shaped like a pea. Corey thinks for a minute and comes up with the answer. He walks back over to the table and inserts the following flavors into the water: dragon fruit, orange, and pear. Then he shakes the bottle up and hands it to Matchy. Matchy takes a sip and says, "You've passed." Then he hands Corey the missing handle. "I'm going to have to follow you back to the kitchen so I can take back the handle. You okay with that?" "That's fine by me, as long as I can get what I need out of there." Right before the two enter the tricky tile room, a large water heater falls down from the ceiling and rolls after them through the room. They hop on dry tiles, like before, to avoid falling and or being flattened at the same time. Down below, the man finishes his city of cards, and the water heater crashes through his ceiling. The impact of it hitting the floor causes all of the cards to fly into the air. The man panics, but the cards come back down to form into the city again, and he sighs in relief. Then his daughter finally shows up with her boyfriend, who is a black man in a red t-shirt with a yellow C on it. "Ah!" the dad screams as he glances at him, and he falls back into the city, knocking it down. Then he mutters from the floor, "Commies. Why, Katie? Why?" Corey and Matchy make it to safety, only for Corey to drop the handle, but Matchy grabs it with his tongue in the nick of time. They make it back to the kitchen door, and Corey reattaches the handle and opens it. "You go on ahead and do what you need to do, boss. I'll stand here and keep a lookout," Matchy said. "Cool. Appreciate it," Corey replies as he enters. Corey spots the number 3 stuck in a cobweb with a roach right above him. With that being said, he has no choice but to use his ingenuity with whatever resources that's available to reach higher ground and retrieve the number. Before doing this, he takes a counterclockwise view of the whole room from one end to the other, to where he comes up with an idea. His plan is to drag the bookshelf from the nearby dining area into the kitchen and use it as a ladder to reach to the top of the refrigerator. Next, he will jump from the refrigerator to the 3 rusted pendant light fixtures and swing across them like vines to reach the higher shelf where the number is located. He manages to get the first part done, but once he reached the second part, a mutated carnivorous 5-headed rat bursts through the wall above the refrigerator with an army of cockroaches coming after Corey. Matchy hears the commotion from outside and runs away screaming, "Shoot! I underestimated these guys." Without hesitation, Corey leaps to the first light fixture and kicks his way up to keep his grip. While kicking, he accidentally knocks over a rotten ham on the floor, which the roaches feed on, and strip clean in a millisecond. This frightens Corey because with the roaches occupying the floor, it's as if it's covered in lava. To add even more insult to injury, the light fixture he's hanging on starts to come apart due to poor maintenance. The light falls, and Corey leaps to the next. The creature also makes a leap from the refrigerator top, but accidentally falls on a propane tank parked next to a grill and turns on the valve. The second light falls, and Corey leaps to the next, with the creature hopping on the table. Corey is now hanging on for his life on the last lights with a time limit. It's all or nothing, and he has one chance at this. If he successfully makes the final leap to the shelf, the number is all his. But he has to find a way to get past the roaches covering the entire kitchen floor. If he doesn't, he will fall into the roaches and will have to apply for a biology class skeleton. Let's find out what happens. Once the light snaps apart, Corey drops his lantern and it ignites the propane gas, causing a massive explosion. The explosion kills the creature, kills the roaches, and sends Corey flying through the wall and into another isolated room. The sound of the explosion alerts neighboring tenants to evacuate Building 1. This even includes the Card City builder, who is being dragged out by his daughter and boyfriend while he's still crying. "They got me! They finally got me! Mr. Calhoun also becomes affected by the explosion, causing him to fall down and shout, "Must be that game he's playing." Corey wakes up from the impact and tries to move, but he can't, because his entire body is laying back first on a giant spider web. He looks around and notices that he's surrounded by human and pet skeletons, including Robert Carr. Corey then notices a giant mutated black widow spider with 18 legs in total, spliced with a copperhead snake on his back, like a 2-in-1 venomous beast. He witnesses it feeding on another random host, fearing the idea that he'll be next if he doesn't do anything. Maverna is now dressed as a princess, flying around on open vaporwave dimension with rainbow strobe lighting on a magical gold eagle dragon hybrid. The land is made up of pixelated 3D rendering framework on an interchangeable color background, and the sky is filled with VHS static. The buildings within the city skyline and nearby horizon move up and down like a music wave. She flies across spinning statues of athletes, then the clouds of a baby's room, and a repetitive loop of a painter painting a painting of the same painter painting a painting. You get the idea. Finally, she comes across various national monuments. She flies up the tower of the Empire State Building, through one of the O's of the Hollywood sign, out the nose of George Washington on Mount Rushmore, straight down the Eiffel Tower, into the gust of fire that takes her out of the torch of the Statue of Liberty, towards the face of the Sphinx. She dodges it, right through the front door of the Taj Mahal, then right around the St. Louis Arc, and straight across the Great Wall of China. Then she crashes the hybrid into a literal cutout of a rocky mountain, the size of the hybrid. Smoke comes from the hybrid's mouth like an engine in a car, and Maverna smells it. The smell of the smoke wakes her up from her trip and back into reality, as the smoke is also coming from the kitchen that exploded. "Yo, this chick was totally having it," Wormring said. Maverna sits up off the ground and groans and asks, "What happened?" "Hey, something's burning." "That was some good stuff, wasn't it?" Itch-Toe asked. "I don't care whatever that stuff was. Something is on fire here." "Yeah, you were," Itch-Toe said. Corey is heard screaming in the background. "Corey!" "Oh, man, she's hearing voices in her head already," Wormring stated. Maverna takes an attempt to check on Corey, but Itch-Toe stops her. "Whoa, where are you going? You've seen nothing yet, bro. That was just an appetizer for the most part." Both Itch-Toe and Wormring laugh as Maverna looks around and spots a tube of anti-fungal cream on the bathroom shelf. "You know, fellas, I got something that'll really get you hooked. You want some of it?" Both cousins enthusiastically say, "Yes!" As a matter of fact, this stuff is so strong, just a pinch is enough. Let me give you guys a sneak preview. Maverna turns around and grabs the anti-fungal cream. She squirts a handful into her right hand, then she hops in the air doing a quick 180-degree turnaround and tosses the cream right through the face of Itch-Toe. Itch-Toe has a large hole in his face and out the back of his head. Then he slowly disintegrates into non-existence. "Far out," Wormring shouted. "Don't worry, you get yours," Maverna said, while she pulls the cream out again and squirts a vertical line down the middle of Wormring, making him split apart in half, as he too disintegrates. Now with those two out of the way, Maverna grabs the number and leaves to go find Corey and Mr. Calhoun. She stops for a second to tell you, the reader of this book, stay away from harmful fungi. PSA over, and resumes. Maverna runs back into the hallway and shouts while coughing, "Corey! Calhoun! Maverna! Maverna!" Corey shouts, "Corey, where are you?" "I don't know, but you better hurry!" Corey shouts as the hybrid comes closer. The fire melts away parts of the spiderweb, freeing only the left side of Corey. Maverna finally locates the room where Corey is. Parts of the room begin to cave in, including a large, heavy piece of wood that falls on top of Maverna, pinning her down to the floor to where she can only move her arms. The hybrid beast is just a foot away from Corey, so Maverna pulls out a leftover We the People canister shell firework she kept just in case. She lights it with the flames from the wood and yells, "Corey, take this!" as she tosses it to Corey. Corey catches the shell with his left hand and throws it into the Black Widow's mouth. The Black Widow swallows it and shoots smoke from a spinneret due to the lift charge, and both it and the Copperhead make comedically surprised expressions for a split second. The Widow says, and the snake finishes it with, "Oh," right before they both explode to pieces in pretty red, white, and blue colors. The impact of the firework breaks the web, giving Corey the chance to swing on the string of web like a vine. He uses this to swing towards Maverna and drag her from under the debris to safety, just before the entire room caves in. "Are you alright? You think you can make it?" asks Corey. "Yeah. I'm good. Either way, we need to find Calhoun and Cody and get out of here. This whole place is about to burn down." Corey and Maverna urgently take off in search of the two. Regardless of if Mr. Calhoun is wearing his mask or not, he's still choking a little from the smoke as he's near the end of the maze. He finally reaches the number, only to be beaten to it by Corey and Maverna. "How'd you two youngins get through that maze so fast?" "What maze?" Maverna asks. "There's only one pile of clothes there." Calhoun sighs and makes the excuse, "I ain't got my glasses, so..." "Okay, we need to go get that code and get Cody out of here. Now let's move," Corey yelled.